a local dentist's office when a station wagon slams into the front of the building with people inside. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA News at 1. I'm Leila Feinstein. And
I'm Chris Burrows. 3 people were injured in the crash, which authorities say happened when the driver tried to avoid another car. KTLA's Olga Ospina live at the scene in Reseda with the very latest. Olga?
Well, police say that the driver was trying to avoid a car crash. Instead, she slammed right into this dental office behind me. And 3 people are now in critical condition. 2 of them were employees of this dental office. You can see that counter just crashed through. 2 of the employees were actually pinned. Urban Search and Rescue actually had to come out and remove that car to set them free. 3 people are in critical condition after being pinned by this Buick station wagon that crashed right through this dental office. At 9:30 this morning, police say a female elderly driver traveling northbound on White Oak swerved to avoid colliding with the car making a left turn in front of her.
When that vehicle went up into the parking lot, there was actually a pedestrian inside the parking lot, and that pedestrian was struck and hit by the vehicle and pushed up to the front of the dental office.
That pedestrian suffered major head trauma. 2 of the dentist office employees inside the building were also struck and pinned by the vehicle.
They were both trapped, and again, the lower leg injuries, abdominal, and we were not able to physically get to them until we pulled the vehicle off of them.
All 3 were transported to local trauma centers and are listed in critical condition. No patients were physically injured, but 3 children in the vicinity of the crash were treated by fire personnel and then released at the scene. The driver of the station wagon is an elderly woman. She was pretty shaken up but was not hurt. The driver of the car who made that left turn in front of her, we are told, did not flee the scene.
The other involved party is at scene, and the traffic investigators are actually involved in conducting interviews right now and trying to figure out exactly what happened.
Now, building safety was out here as well, doing an assessment of the buildings. In addition to structural damage, we understand there is compromised electrical wiring as well. Also in the parking lot, there was a Dodge Caravan that was also clipped as that driver smashed into the building. We were told nobody was inside that van, so no one there was injured. But again, those 3 people are in critical condition. That's the latest from Reseda. I'm Olga Ospina, KTLA 5 News. A station wagon comes crashing through this dental office. I'm Olga Ospina in Reseda. 3 people are in critical condition. 2 of those employees trapped by the vehicle. The full story coming up.
Well, a dangerous drive in Reseda when an elderly driver swerved to avoid crashing into another car, but instead ended up plowing into a dental office with several people inside. Olga Ospina explains how it happened.
3 people are in critical condition after being slammed into by this Buick station wagon that crashed right through this dental office. At 9:30 this morning, police say an 84-year-old female driver traveling northbound on White Oak swerved to avoid colliding with a car making a left turn in front of her.
When that vehicle went up into the parking lot, there was actually a pedestrian inside the parking lot, and that pedestrian was struck and hit by the vehicle and pushed up to the front of the dental office.
The pedestrian suffered major head trauma. There were also 2 employees in the dental office at that time when that station wagon came crashing through. They were standing right there behind the counter, and they were actually pinned by the vehicle.
Our Urban Search and Rescue team come out. They actually pulled the vehicle off the 2 patients inside of the dentist's office.
No patients were physically injured, but 3 children in the vicinity of the crash were reportedly traumatized by the event. They were evaluated by fire personnel and released at the scene. The elderly woman behind the wheel of the station wagon, she was pretty shaken up but not hurt. And the driver of the car who made that left turn in front of her, we are told she stayed at the scene and was questioned by police. Meanwhile, people who work in the area aren't too surprised by today's collision, saying this intersection of White Oak and Van Noen is a dangerous one. They've been trying to get the city to put up a turn signal as it's been prone to numerous major accidents over the years.
This is not the first time this is happening, something like this is happening. People come to make a left turn or a right turn with such a high speed passing the yellow light, they can't control the cars. That something has to be done.
In Reseda, Olga Ospina, KTLA 5 News.